And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. This is your boy FlyIsland Guy. Today we are back in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. If you remember, a while ago we flew here. It was a very interesting flight. I was flown here, well, directed in by ATC. We ended up coming in a little too low for some odd reason, even though we were doing the ILS approach, and kind of had to recover in the end, but we got in all right. So we're going to be heading over, well, to another spot in Saskatchewan. We're just going to be basically heading west. We're continuing our Canadian tour, which should be ending, I'm going to assume, in probably the next 4 or 5 flights. We have almost made our way all the way across to Canada. Once we reach the west coast, somewhere in British Columbia, we're going to go ahead and we're going to call time on our Canadian tour. So I'm excited about that, and you know what, I think it'll probably be time for me to try something a little bigger and do some flights in the big aircraft, in the Airbus A310s calling my name. So in the meantime, while I've been talking, I've been sitting here trying to find the name of where we're actually going, because I don't remember it. There we go. So we're going to be heading to North Battleford, Saskatchewan. Our flying time today is about 1 hour and 10 minutes. We're going to be cruising at 12,000 feet, carrying about 729 pounds of cargo, so we're pretty light, and we have about half of our fuel. So what we are going to do, we're going to get our beacon on. We already have all of our information set and ready to go, and we've got our trim set already. What we're going to do is start cranking over that engine, and we are going to get out of here, folks. Alright, so I'm just going to double check on air just to make sure we're up and running. Let's go start.
Your flight will be monitored until you land and shut down the engines.
There we go. It's actually morning time here in Saskatchewan. It's about 8 a.m. So we're gonna hit North Battleford just in time for a late breakfast. So yeah, we're good to go. Let's go ahead and get the engine cranked over. So let's go on and low motor. As the engine's cranked over, just get some fuel up inside there. So I haven't actually flown this guy in a long time. How about we get some fuel? That'll also be good. I actually forgot to do these guys. There we go. And while we're up here, get these guys going as well. Alright, so the engine is looking good. Temperatures are looking good. No complaints here. Gonna put our fuel condition lever into max RPMs. The temperature outside, it's saying, what's this 10 degrees or 15 degrees. So what I will do is I'm going to get our pitot heat on, because I know temperatures are going to drop fast once we get in the air. So might as well get that on now. Before we get going, let's just take a quick look at the weather. So if you come over here to windy.com, CYMJ, this is where we are now. So I'm going to do a quick restart, because it's saying that this weather report is obsolete. So this isn't really what I'm, well, actually no, this is what I'm seeing in the sim right now. Yeah, pretty much all clear skies. And we're sort of going to be heading in this northwest direction. So what I'm hoping is that for the most part we can avoid some of this weather. I'm just gonna double check now, and I'm praying that we're not going into the snow. Yeah, that'll be good. North Battleford. All right. Yeah, we're good to go. All right. So we are gonna get going. I think with the way the wind's moving, snow's not going to be an issue, so we should have a clear flight all the way to our destination. Now, if you guys don't know from before, it's actually been a while since I've been flying. I probably just started doing a couple flights not too long ago. So I have to get used to the I have to get used to the I forget the name of this aircraft. What the heck is the name of this aircraft? Kodiak, there we go, right in front of me. So I got to get used to the Kodiak, because if you guys haven't flown this before, this is an extremely quirky aircraft, and you have to be very, very careful when you're flying it. But I've really had a blast flying this guy. Once I kind of got the hang of it, it was all good. So I'm going to give just a little bit of power for now. Just let the engine warm up for a second while I just get the map pulled up over here. And there we go. Alright. So they've actually changed the way that Navigraph looks. If anybody hasn't seen it, the UI is totally different now. Totally different. So it's taken a little getting used to for me, but it's all good. I'm gonna get the hang of it eventually. Alright, so just bringing up the taxi map here, and because I just want to see where 11 right is. And they also, there's normally something up here where we can actually get the arrow so we can see where the aircraft is, but I don't know where that is. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. Alright, I'll take a guess. I think we're pretty much parked over here somewhere. So we're gonna have to kind of go along the edge and come back over here. I'll figure out how to get the arrow back in Navigraph. Alrighty. So as I've mentioned a few times before, if you guys do not know, I'm on my mobile rig. I'm pretty much just trying to use that now full time. As I've said before, it performs way better than my desktop. Alright. So let's see. Just double checking something. Runway 321. Okay, we're actually way down there. So We should be heading in the right direction. Not having this arrow is really throwing me off. I'm gonna figure out how to get it back though. I'm pretty sure I saw it somewhere just now. Alright. So this is 3, 2, 1. Which makes me believe they're actually running parallel to this runway. Okay, I think I see where we are. Alright, what I'm going to do, folks, is I'm just going to situate myself, and once I do that, I'll come back. I'm going to spare you guys all the boring taxiing right now, because I'm just not sure. I'm not sure we are on the runway. I think we've crossed the runway, but that runway is running parallel to the ones that we're trying to get to. So I just need to watch out for that. So I'll be back shortly, folks, okay? In other news, we are actually on the runway that we're trying to depart from. So we turn left onto runway 11 right. Huh. Okay, so we're going the right direction all along. Okay, folks, let's get our strobes on. Landing lights will come on as well. And our pita heat's already on. We'll leave all the other icing stuff off for now, because we don't quite need it yet. And we've already set our trim. So I think we're all set. Altitude set as well. Good to go. Alright, folks, time to get out of here. Just gonna set our takeoff power. Set a little bit of right rudder trim. There we go. We're getting up to speed, so I'm just going to slowly rotate back. There we go.
Airborne time logged.
Just going to enjoy the sunlight in our face. And we're going to say goodbye to Moose Jaw. Alright, we're going to go flaps up, and we're going to pick up some pick up a little speed. Let's get our yaw damper autopilot on, and we'll do flight level change. We'll just hold the speed for climb, and let's get nav mode on as well. And nav mode is not doing anything, so that's cool. It's because we're heading away. So I'm going to synchronize our heading mode on, and we're just going to turn back. Absolutely beautiful. This is stunning. Frame rates are crazy. Loving it. So we're gonna have to go right towards the pink arrow. Yeah, let's get back in that direction. All right. We have to turn a little more. There we go. We're going to kind of head back over the airport. Let's try and enjoy our scenery as we head out. So it's an absolutely beautiful day here. I'm actually really excited. I timed this kind of well in that I think the last time I flew in Canada, it was around fall time. So now we are heading into the dirty depths of winter, and I'm on the side of the country where well, I guess you could say snow's an issue, but kind of once we get through here over into BC, we shouldn't have to worry too much about snow. So I don't think it snows too much over in BC like that, so we should be good to go. Alright. So we're heading back towards our flight path now, and I'll just go into nav mode. Well, nav mode's already on, so yeah, I should actually capture it once it gets close. While we're climbing out, we're going to set our climb power. As you guys see me do multiple times before, we're going to go down to 2000 RPM. I was still only climbing out at about 108, 109 knots. We could bring it up a little more if we want to. I just want to do like a steady climb out today, so I'm not stressing about it too much. I see something blinking down there. I don't really know what it is. Maybe it's just my eyes deceiving me. Somewhere around here. Yeah, it was just a house, so I don't know what I was looking at. Right, so our route today, we're not really doing anything special. It's actually just a straight direct flight over. And that's pretty much what SimBrief gave us, so that's the plan that we are going to follow. So we're doing pretty much a straight shot until our initial approach fix. Then we're going to turn right and then do a left base onto, I think it's runway 10 out there, North Battleford. In the meantime, something that I haven't done in a long time is actually just do a quick talk about where we're going to be heading today. So if anybody has heard of North Battleford, please raise your hands, because I've never heard of this place before. So I don't foresee there being too much information on it, and there's not. So North Battleford is a city in west central Saskatchewan. It is the 7th largest city in the province and is directly across the North Saskatchewan River from the town of Battleford. Together, the two communities are known as the Battlefords. North Battleford borders the rural municipality of North Battleford number 437, as well as North Battleford Crown Colony. And the Battlefords are served by the Yellowhead Highway and Highway 4, Highway 26, Highway 29, and Highway 40. And then we have Battlefords Provincial Park, which is 40 kilometers north of Highway 4. So just quickly looking at the history. For thousands of years prior to European settlement, succeeding cultures of indigenous people lived in the area. The Battleford's area was home to several historic indigenous groups, including the Algonquin-speaking Cree and Blackfeet, as well as Siouan, Assiniboine, First Nation band governments who contested for control of local resources. Early European settlement began as a result of fur trading by French colonists in the late 18th century, and the Canadians found Fort Montagne-Dago, 9 miles below the confluence of the Saskatchewan and Battle Rivers in 1778. A year later, the fort was abandoned following conflict between traders and natives. Permanent European settlements in the area centered around the town of Battleford, founded in 1875 and located on the south side of the North Saskatchewan River. Battleford served as capital of the Northwest Territories between 1876 and 1863, and in 1905 the construction of the Canadian Northern Railway main line to Edmonton placed the line on the north side of the North Saskatchewan River. North Battleford, built along the railway line, was incorporated as a village in 1906 and as a town in 1907, and as a city with a population of 5,000 in 1913. The Assyrians let's double check something real quick here. Alright, we turned on to our flight plan. So the Assyrians were one of the first settlers of the area in and around North Battleford. The immigrant colony comprised 36 men and a few women from the town of Urnia in northwestern Persia. It was established in 1903 by Dr. Isaac Adams, an Assyrian Presbyterian missionary, in 1907, where 41 settlers arrived, and eventually, due to economic hardships, Dr. Isaac Adams and a few close relatives emigrated to Turlock, California. The descendants of the families who remained in North Battleford have names that are Assyrian in origin, and examples of those names include Bacchus, Esau, and Odisha. Population growth stagnated until the 1940s and then grew to approximately 10,000 by the 1960s. The city has grown into an administrative center and service hub for the economic, education, health, and social needs of the region. So Northern Battleford used STV-PR in its city elections from 1920 to 1924, and the Latter Rain Revival, a Christian movement, started in 1946 to 1948. So there's a number of heritage buildings located in the city. The North Battleford Public Library was built in 1916 with a $15,000 grant from the Carnegie Foundation of New York, and the Canadian National Railway Station was built in 1956. So from a demographics point of view, the 2021 census population conducted by Statistics Canada, North Battleford had a population of 13,836. And which is a 3.3% decrease from its 2016 population of 14,315. In the late 2000s, many Ruthenians have emigrated to Canada, concentrating in North Battleford. Most of them came from the same town. And if you're not sure what Ruthenians are, they're basically ethnic Rusnis from the southern regions of the Pannon Plain. The communities are located mainly in Vojvodina and Slovenia. So, interesting. Let's touch on one or two more things. So climate. The climate in North Battleford experiences a humid continental climate. The average high during the end of July is 24.6 degrees C, which is about 76 degrees Fahrenheit. And the average low is about 11.3 degrees C, which is about 52 degrees Fahrenheit. For the middle of January, the average high is negative 12.3 degrees C. Yes, you saw that right. The average high is negative 12 degrees C. The average low is negative 22 degrees C. The highest temperature ever recorded in North Battleford was in July 2002, when the temperature hit 39.5 degrees. So the last thing I'll discuss here is attractions in North Battleford. Surprise, surprise, it's not much. North Battleford is home of one of the 4 branches of the Saskatchewan Western Development Museum. This branch focuses on the agricultural history of Saskatchewan, including the Pioneer Village. A prominent feature is the former Saskatchewan Wheat Pool Grain Elevator number 889 from Keatley, Saskatchewan, and the grain elevator was moved to the museum grounds in 1983. The city also has the Alan Sapp Gallery featuring the noted Cree painter. So that is it, folks, for Northern Battleford. What we're going to do is we're going to continue our flight, and oops, sorry about that. We pretty much now settled our cruising altitude. We have about, what is that, 145 nautical miles to go until we reach our initial approach fix, which is Melsu. So yeah, plenty of time there. Alright, folks, I will be back in a little while, and I'll talk to you guys then. Alright, this is your boy FlyIsland Guy. Peace. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We have started our descent into North Battleford, and just to give you a quick synopsis on where we are right now, I still did not figure out how to show the arrow, but we are starting we've started our descent. We're heading towards this Melsu waypoint, which is the initial approach fix to the airport. So I'm just going to go to Melsu, make the right turn, heading 034 to do so, and then we're going to turn to heading 304, and we are going to head towards Alberta and start our descent towards the airport. If you're a very keen observer, you notice that it's a lot wider outside than it was before, and I know when I was doing a flight not too long ago, I was trying to figure out why the B key wouldn't work in order to set the altimeter. Like, it kept staying at 299.2. I was in the Caribbean. It was my previous flight, or one of my previous flight in a Vision jet, and I realized that well, I was in the Caribbean, so I thought it was just because the Caribbean weather was great, as always. But turns out that I just had I didn't have real world weather turned on, or real time weather, I forget what it's called. So I wasn't actually getting the accurate. It wasn't giving me accurate weather. So I just switched it on just now, and what was beautiful green, easy to see ground has now turned into ice, loads and loads of ice and snow. Negative 28 degrees C out here, which is, I thought it was weird that it was 11 degrees C, so that is my bad. Gonna get the icing switch turned on. I did see a small bit of ice forming on this little window here, but it's all good. Airport now should be off in the distance. Don't know exactly where it is, but we're going to be making a left turn soon and heading back towards the airport. Just trying to keep an eye out for some lights or something, but I'm not seeing anything. It's fine. So we've hit 3,500 feet, we're now 3.2 nautical miles from Dussault, where we're going to make that left turn onto the runway, or towards the runway. Overall, it's been a great flight today. Cannot complain at all. Really good to get back into the swing of things as far as the Kodiak is concerned. And I'm going to be doing more flights because it's going to be a while before we actually reach West Coast Canada. We have to go through Edmonton next. So, yeah, Edmonton's going to be interesting. That's a really big province. It's going to probably take 2 or 3 trips to get through there before we get to BC. We're going to make our way all the way to the coast, and then probably head over to Victoria Island maybe, and we'll end things there. Making a turn towards the airport now. Gonna go get our first notch of flap out. Just waiting for the aircraft to straighten out so I get a better idea of where the airport is. Oh, I think I see it. Nope, it's just a road. Gonna go ahead and turn our approach mode on. Actually getting a little very slow just now. Almost stalled. We don't want that to happen. Surprisingly, still not seeing the airport, but it should be straight ahead of us. This may be it here. That's one of the sucky things about flying in snow is that you don't, when there's snow on the ground, it's really hard to see the airport if it's not a big airport. So I'm assuming that's it right there. But it looks like when we get ready to land, we can head all the way down to the end of the runway, and the parking is off to the left. Coming into runway 30. That is definitely the runway. Straight ahead. The weather right now in North Battleford, winds out of 240 at 7 knots. Visibility is 9 miles. No clouds. Temperature is minus 33. So I'm not sure what I was talking about with 11, 12 degrees before we left Moose Jaw. So that was just wrong. Kind of waiting for this diamond here to come down, so that we could properly see that we're on the glide path. But I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't see it moving, and we're about to cross the Albert waypoint. So I'll have to fly this in manually. Okay. Now it's active. Oh, it's active. There we go. So we're just descending now. And, well, not descending, but the glide path is active, and we should capture it any second now. Thought it wasn't going to work for a second there. Here we go. Glide path is active. Gonna go full flaps, and actually my fuel was not even at wasn't even a high idle. I mean my fuel condition level. About to do that. It's okay though. Still flying alright. Max RPMs as well. Landing lights are on. And our fuel level is looking good. Still in the green. Things looking good outside. A little hazy, but you know, it's nothing to worry about. And luckily the snow belt is nowhere near us. But I think probably our next flight or two is going to be pretty interesting, because there's a lot of snow in the area on the west coast of Canada.
0 at 5 knots.
Alright folks, gonna prepare for landing. Have a little bit of a headwind / crosswind, and our speed is getting really low, so let's just keep an eye on that. Have a 5,000 foot runway to deal with, so shouldn't be an issue stopping the plane because it's also really light. As my boy Z Lively likes to say, this is my aircraft. And we should just be able to put it down pretty gently. Going to try and hold about 75 knots in approach. And see if we could grease it. I have no idea because it's been so long since I've flown. Getting a little bumpy. Careful, careful, careful. There you go. I was just trying to adjust something, lost control. So let's just get above the runway. And here we go.
Landing time logged.
That was my fault. I reached over to adjust something on the with my mouse, and I ended up losing control for a second there. But all's well that ends well, folks. Welcome to North Battleford. Current time is about 9:46 in the morning. As I said, we're going to get in for a little bit of a, well, I was going to say late breakfast, but I mean it's about normal time for breakfast. Alright, so we're going to go flaps up. I'll just kind of slow down here as we reach the end of the runway. It's actually pretty insane right now. Temperature here is negative 33 degrees. Holy smokes. Absolutely freezing. Alright. So, gonna get our landing lights off. Actually, that is the wrong one. That's our nav lights. Does it stay on? That's the one I'm trying to turn off. I'm not really sure where to park, but I think we'll just come somewhere around here, I guess. We'll just come to one of these buildings and we're gonna call it a day. Ah, there we go. Good old Mr. Marshall. Right, hands are up. They're here to direct us in. Actually wasn't sure they were. Coming straight. Awesome. Alrighty folks, strobes off. Beacons off. You could feather the props.
Engine off time logged. The flight is finished. It has been monitored by On Air.
Beautiful. Awesome. I just reached level 9 in On Air, which is great. My landing was considered hard. Surprise, surprise there. But it's alright. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these points to start building out an FBO. Because I actually got a good amount of money. I sold the Honda Jet to get a Vision Jet. So the Vision Jet's a little bit cheaper, so I actually got a little bit of money to play with. So I think I'm gonna build an FBO for sure. Alright. So let's let our passengers freeze. I'm gonna get the doors open. And that is it, folks. Oops. All's well that ends well. And every day is an adventure when I'm in the Kodiak. So that is it. The Canada tour is going to continue, folks. Hopefully we'll be heading over to somewhere in Alberta. We shall see. But we'll find out when we get there, right? This is your boy FlyIsland Guy. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Share the videos if you see fit. And I'll catch you on the next one. This is your boy FlyIsland Guy saying stay safe. And most importantly, stay fly. I'm out.